Now, I know Mattel likes to screw us collectors over a lot by, for instance, shoving exclusive cars into giant 9 packs. I'm looking at you, Peggy Liner. Or, just making some cars extremely hard to get, put them in one case one time, never see them again. But every so often, they do like to throw us a bone, like right here with Chieftess, the almighty Chieftess from Cars on the Road. She is a deluxe character in a 2-pack. And she's brand new. This is her first time getting a diecast release in 155 scale, so this is pretty monumental, guys. So welcome on back to the Cars Garage, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. I know I certainly am, because I was able to get this awesome new 2-pack, actually not in the stores, not hanging on the pegs, but instead I got it, along with a few others, on Walmart.ca. It's unfortunately not available at the moment I'm filming this video, but hopefully it does end up going up for sale again. I actually got it in the mail a couple days ago. I forget when exactly, probably like October 19th, I think it arrived was the day maybe. But I was just so stunned to see it online. I think I ordered it maybe like the 17th, I forget. But anyways, it's a very cool 2-pack, came out of 2023 2-packs case T, of course. And it contains 2 cars that I don't have. Obviously, Chieftess is the exclusive one. You can only get her right now in this 2-pack. But Jeremy, you can also get him as a single. He was first available in 2023 singles case H. So they're both very cool. Both brand new to me because, like I said, I didn't have Jeremy beforehand, so it works out even better for me. Obviously, new for 2023. You can get a good glimpse at their beautiful artworks with this 2-pack packaging. Very nice. I love Chieftess' artwork. They did a great job with it. We have seen it for about a year now because it was on this some kind of like map that they had available at some kind of event. I forget where. Maybe the D23 Expo. I forget, but something like that. So we have seen her artwork for a while now, and Jeremy's has been out a while, obviously, too, because, like I said, he's also available as a single. But yeah, very, very cool. They look great together on the Cars on the Road package design. I love it. There's the metal logo. Mattel 3 Plus down there. Obviously has the map in the background, and the big difference about this 2-pack packaging from others is that it obviously has like a big old bubble blister, much like another one from this year had, like this Red and Stanley 2-pack right here. This one's actually, I think, even bigger yet. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely wider. Look at that. It's way more deep. Much more room in there for the cars. Don't exactly know why. I mean, Red's a lot bigger than Chieftess, so I find that kind of odd. But, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of room in there if you just look in there. Chieftess is kind of crammed, I guess, but Jeremy's got a lot of room from the back of his, or from his side there to the back of the card. I don't know. That's a lot of extra plastic. I don't know. It's kind of odd to me because, they've been trying to skimp out on plastic and whatnot this year, but I don't care. As long as it looks good in the package, it's kind of nice to see, change of pace a little bit. Kind of feels a bit nostalgic. Been since 2021 since we've seen packaging like this in the main line. Anyways, here is As Seen in Cars on the Road right there, and we got lots of other really cool 2-packs as well. Other ones that I will be reviewing very soon, like the Lightning McQueen Deputy Hazard and Bella Cadaver 2-pack, which I do have up there. I have them all except for the one. You guys can catch a good glimpse at them back there. There's those 2 right there, which are on the back. There's that one up there. Unfortunately, I don't have the Kirsten Marshall and Mark Sondheimer 2-pack yet, but hopefully I'll get it soon. It was available online, but I could have got, technically, I could have got all 5 that I needed, but that one was the least interesting to me because I already have Kirsten, and I don't know, it was racking up too much of a bill, and I only had like $70 on me, so that's why I didn't bother getting it. I think that'll be like the easiest one to find, so I'm sure I'll find it in the store. Here's Lisa and Louise, though, the twin ghost, and Claire Gunzer and Hall of Haynes, as you guys can see back there. Very, very cool stuff. I mean, I'm just very excited right now, of course. We got Mayra and McQueen here today. They're going to help us open this awesome 2-pack, because, I don't know, I might need some help with this one. I'm a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit nervous to open it, because I think it's probably going to become one of the rarest 2-packs, or even one of the rarest packs at all, this year. I don't know, because Chieftess and Jeremy are coming back in a 2-pack next year, technically, for 2024, but they won't have the cars in their own packaging, so this is like a one case, one time type of deal. I think there's only one in the case T 2023 2-packs, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I mean, I had to open it. I already started the review, so without any further ado, let's bust it open, guys. How does one even begin to review two cars this awesome? I mean, these guys really are the true definition of barbaric. And when Mattel really wants to, like, they really can pull off some cool cars. And these are prime examples of that. I mean, just look at these guys. They're absolutely insane. They got spikes coming out of them from all different directions. Jeremy's got a mallet on him, a big old flamethrower, even has raised suspension. I mean, the level of detail on the rust and everything is just on another level. Chieftess doesn't have nearly as much rust on her, but she's still like, I don't even know. Like, she doesn't even have any decals yet. The detail on her is just absolutely insane. Like, look at all those cool like tire tread marks. That really is something else. Mattel, you really did outdo yourself on these two cars. I gotta hand it to you. I mean, I don't know if China would have been able to do nearly as good of a job as Thailand did with these two, but maybe. I don't know. I guess we'd have to go back in time and see. But anyways, who are we even going to start reviewing? I guess we'll have to go with Jeremy because even though I mean, he's amazing. I can't say nothing bad about Jeremy. I do think that Chieftess is just slightly better, just because I don't know, just her crown, her color, and I mean, she is a slightly more main character. So we'll leave her until the end. We'll do Jeremy first. So let's put Chieftess back here. I want to show you guys a picture of where Jeremy appeared at in the Road Rumblers episode of Cars on the Road. He has a very like skittish kind of personality. He's very skeptical, like about the whole fighting thing. He's not really a fighter at all. He's just there with the rest of his clan, I guess you'd call it. Just because, I mean, I don't even know how the whole Road Rumblers thing worked in the first place. I think they were campers in the beginning. They just went on a camping trip, and somehow over time they turned into wasteland barbarians. Like, I don't really know how that happened, but they end up fighting electric cars like we see in the episode, and we can assume that they fight several other groups of cars too off screen, but obviously in the end of the episode they fight no more. Mater and McQueen, luckily back there, were able to talk them out of their big fight. Well, not really, because they still ended up fighting in the episode. We got to see a big old brawl go down, but they, after that, McQueen and Mater made it out there alive, luckily. And, all the cars, both groups of cars, the Road Rumblers and then the electric car group, all could be seen going to the, I guess, gas station just in the middle of nowhere. It felt very like wastelandish, that whole area there. And I don't even know where it was located in. I'd assume kind of close to Radiator Springs just because it looked like Arizona to me, but I don't really know. Anyways, though, the cool thing about Jeremy is that he actually has the Hugo model, as you can tell. If you're a Cars 2 fan, obviously you can probably tell even more because, I mean, there's tons of Hugos in Cars 2, and it's really cool to see this model back. Obviously, Mattel did do a couple of Hugos in the past, not very many though, so it's nice to see the model back now in Thailand. This is the first Hugo from Thailand. Alexandra Hugo, though, right here, Alexander Hugo, with the party hat, not Alexandra. What am I saying? He shares the Hugo model, so does Victor H. I don't have Victor H, unfortunately, but this is a good enough comparison of the two. Obviously, like, it's much smaller than Alexander. I don't really know why they, changed the scale of the model. I don't really understand that. But it actually probably is more accurate, to be honest. Hugos are pretty small cars, so I guess it makes sense. They're both the same height when you put them next to each other, but obviously Jeremy has the raised suspension, like I was saying, so I think that's why they're like the same height. Yeah, look at that. It's cool though, because he actually has like the raised suspension, not only the back, but the front too. Or usually it's in the front, not the back. Like with Mater here, this 2023 road trip Mater, they did the raised suspension in the front, but they didn't do it in the back. So with Jeremy, they decided to do it for both the back and the front. So that's really cool and unique, something that Mattel doesn't do very often. Very cool expression though on Jeremy. I absolutely love it. Looks exactly like he just came out of the episode, like just drove out of the screen. Big brown eyes. Does have a plastic eye plate, but it matches really well, the plastic with the metal, because it has this really cool rough, like matte finish, kind of like all the Thunder Hollow cars have. But when you feel it, it's almost even like more like rough to the touch. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like very like hard and scratchy when you feel it. It feels like you're actually touching rust. So that's pretty cool that they're able to do that. This is like cars that Thailand succeeds on, rusty old cars like this that are all banged up. So cool they added the flamethrower on the side. It looks just kind of like a normal gun, but I think it is supposed to be a flamethrower because Mater, the Road Rumbler Mater, has one of those too. They even detailed that though, even though it's a separate plastic piece. attached to his door there. I'm assuming it's on the right spot, but honestly, I don't know. It should probably be on his wheel. Same with this. If you look at the artwork, which I'll show you guys off, I have it off to the side here. Let me grab it. You can definitely see, yeah, look at that. His hammer or mallet is supposed to be attached to his wheel, because obviously it makes sense. That's where he has the most, like, movability. But obviously, they did not do that here with the diecast. They usually don't when they have little things like that, little accessories on them, like the flag wavers. Dexter Hoover and Chris Rostovsky, they always had their flags like attached to the door or like over like the wheel well there. It's never actually on the actual rim like it should be. Because, yeah, I mean, how is he going to move this? You don't have feeling there if you're a car on your door, right? So that doesn't really make sense, but oh well. I mean, what do you expect with Mattel sometimes? Other than that, though, they knocked it out of the park. Love all the intricate little spikes that he has, though, like on the back window here, all throughout the top, and they're actually rubber. Like, look at that. They're moving around. I thought they were going to be hard, but I'm kind of glad they're not, because if I ever left Jeremy on the floor and I accidentally stepped on him, I don't think that would feel too good to step on that. Probably would hurt a lot more than Legos, which everyone always says you don't want to step on Legos. Or glass. Obviously, glass would be a lot worse, but this, I don't know, it might hurt a little, but I don't think it would hurt that bad. Luckily, my Jeremy will be safe on the shelf, though. He won't be left on the ground for me to step on. I love even on the windows. Like, look at that. The grime and mud that they were able to put on them. Obviously, they're separate plastic pieces, but that's insane. They could have easily just left those clear, opaque plastic and just, like, called it a day, but I'm really glad they didn't. And just look at that, like, the amount of rust on him. I mean, not even that old of a car, I don't think at least. Like, Hugos are old. I don't know even when they're from. Probably the 50s, I'd assume. Maybe even earlier, though. But Jeremy does not seem like an old man. You know what I mean? So, if his model's like 70 years old or something, he doesn't seem like that. So I don't really understand. Like most of the Hugos from Cars 2, you could argue that they're up there in age, but Jeremy just seemed kind of like a kid or like a teenager or maybe like 30 at the most. So I don't really understand that, but whatever. Very cool. Just everywhere, all the rust is just so well detailed. He even has like these panels just like shoved onto him in random places, mostly over the wheel wells, it looks like. Dark blue panels, which clearly is not his original body. He must have got like dented or parts of him flew off and he just had to, use some scrap metal and just like patch himself up, I guess. Even the headlights, like, I doubt they work. We don't really see them use their headlights, all the road rumblers, I don't think. Looks like he's got pieces of wood over them almost. Very cool. You even can catch a glimpse of how Jeremy looked back in the day, obviously in the episode when they're doing like the whole flashback scene, and he's just a nice, just a flat color of blue, like a light blue color. Nice little Hugo. So I imagine he still was a lemon. He probably broke down a lot still, because that's what Hugos and other lemons are known for. But I don't know, he didn't really look like he does now in his barbaric form here. Look at the rust on the top there. Wow. I almost didn't even realize that's like completely brown. That's worse than Mater. Okay, maybe not as bad as Mater. That's completely brown, but this is almost there. Give him a couple of years out there in the wastelands, and he could easily look just as rusty as Mater. That is so cool. Let's take a look at the base quickly here. 2022 copyright. That's odd. It seems like all new molds, like whenever you get a new mold of a car, which this one is technically because I've never done a Hugo in Thailand before, it seems like you're always going to get the copyrighted date on there. So obviously, even though he came out this year in 2023, they copyright him 2022. It's always a year before for some reason. I don't know why. I imagine it takes a while to do that. Probably to make the cars and then, get them in the stores. And just look at that. The date stamp S13A. So the 13th week of 2023 was made, and now it's almost 2024. It's late October now. And obviously, he is in my hands. So it took a while, but it always takes about half a year or so. So I imagine that's why they copyrighted the year before. I don't really know though. But yeah, they started doing that with McQueen in the 2022 main line. They started putting 2021 dates on the bottom of him because it was a new base, I guess, because they put the holes in it. But now they just seem to do it with all new cars. I imagine Chieftess is probably the same. So yeah, we already did our comparison to the Alexander Hugo over there with his party hat. I don't have Victor Hugo, so I can't really compare him, unfortunately. But it's time to move on to Chieftess here. She just looks so amazing. I don't know. This is This is a car, a car for the ages. I mean, this might be the best car of the decade. Possibly the best car. I mean, it's not even 2024 yet. I'm calling it the best car of the decade. I don't know if that'll hold up over time, but honestly, I think it will. Like, this is just absolutely insane. I don't even care how many times they re-release her, which I don't think they will release her all that much. I just think she'll hold her value and, remain a very highly esteemed car. Because, I mean, just look at her. She's got a crown on. Like, she really is literally a queen. I mean, this is really cool. Anyways, enough talk. I want to show you guys a picture of where Chieftess appeared in the episode. Of course, we don't get to see her drive around all that much. It's funny because she actually has 4 little Volkswagen Beetles carry her around against her will, I assume. Just like her slaves, I guess, all around the wastelands. She really is the queen of all of the road warriors. And like Jeremy, she also has like quite a lot of speaking lines throughout the episode, so she's a pretty main character. And something I found kind of funny about her is that she actually is voiced by the same voice actress that voices Margaret Motorway in the Legend episode with the Bigfoot and all that. Ivy's episode where she's introduced. So that was kind of cool. Of course, that's just them, wanting to hire as less voice actors as they can to save on money, I guess. But I guess it makes sense. You really can't tell if they have the same voice at all. At least I really couldn't. But very cool expression on Chieftess. I must say, it's not exactly how I thought it was going to look while she was in the package. I don't know. I didn't think she'd have a frown, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't hate it. I always hate frowns, though. Like, I like to see the inside of their mouth. I like to see the teeth and the tongue. I know that sounds weird, but I think that it honestly does make the car look more lifelike. Because, like, on some angles, you almost can't even see her mouth at all. I mean, just look at that. It's all blackened out now. So I don't know. But her eyes are really cool. It is a plastic eye plate. Matches pretty well with the rest of the main metal body. There's nothing to complain about on Cheapest, though. She is really in a class of her own. Doesn't even have any decals, and still, she manages to blow me away. I mean, I guess she has a few decals. I guess this would count as a decal. All these like tire tread marks here, just going off in different directions. Very cool. She is kind of rusty too. I didn't think she would be rusty. I thought she was like the one road rumbler that was actually pretty free from rust, but I guess not. She does have some little rust, unless that's mud. I don't know. Looks like rust though to me. Very cool model of car though. Like, she's curvy in a way, but she's also kind of like squared up. Like her wheel wells here, very square like. She actually has the same model as Edwin Cranks. Forgot about that. We'll have to compare her later. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that until just looking up what model she was. It says online she's a 1944 Piedmont Hauser. I don't know. It must be the official name. I don't think that's a real brand. I think it's just a made up brand by Pixar, but obviously if that's what the model Edwin Cranks is, and she has the same model, then I guess that's what model she is too. Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I didn't realize at first. I thought she was just a unique new mold that we hadn't seen before, but now looking at her, you can definitely tell she shares the same mold as Edwin Cranks here. We'll compare them later, though. I just want to give you the full tour of Chieftess. Lots of little holes throughout her body, obviously, where the spikes are coming out of. Very nice. I thought these moved around. I heard from others that they did. They're very squishy though. They're just really just hard rubber. Not even that hard. They're kind of soft rubber almost, but they're nice. Yeah, I guess they do kind of like move around a little. You can like push them in. I don't really want to though, because I don't want them to get lodged in there or anything. Look at that. Her headlights are gone, and her little like lights down here, little turn signal lights. I guess they're just completely gone. The light bulbs in them, and she's got thorns or big old spikes coming out there. Like this one almost looks like it is lodged in though. So yeah, be careful of that, guys. You don't want them to get lodged in there. She won't look as cool. This is really awesome. This is just one of those cars. You know what I mean? It's up there as one of the best, probably. Still has some nice silver trim to her, though, like with this nice little side piece here. And a nice silver trim around all her windows and on her hood here. Little, like, indentation here, or maybe an embossment, I guess, of some kind of logo, but it doesn't really say anything. I'd imagine that's the Piedmont logo. That is the brand she is. Got a plastic bumper on the front and back, but they actually look pretty good. Same with Jeremy. Like, his bumpers look pretty nice, too. They detail them nicely. They didn't just leave them boring light gray colored. They actually put some effort in, and some like dirt detailing on them, the mud splash. One thing I guess I could kind of complain about is her tires. Well, not really her tires, but her rims. They technically should have like little spikes in the rims, but instead they just painted brown triangles to kind of like signify that. It's fine. It just looks like mud. I don't know. If you're not going to do the spikes, I probably would have just left them orange because now it just looks kind of like dirty, which actually doesn't look bad. But I don't know. I could show you guys, try to show you guys. Uh-oh, I dropped that 1 second. Dropped the package over here. I want to show you guys in the artwork exactly what I'm talking about there. You can see she's supposed to have like little spikes there. Obviously that wasn't really translated onto the die cast all that well, but it really doesn't look that bad. But yeah, I probably would have just left them all orange then, or like a cool like copper color like they are. This really is a color I've never really seen before in any other Cars die cast. It's like a copper burnt orange metallic foil Zamac finish. I don't know, that's a long name, but that's what I'm going with. They even painted her taillights there. Look at that. And lots of more spikes in the back, which I almost didn't even realize. That is really cool. Looks like, like she's got sea urchins attached to her or something. Wow. That is so awesome. And then we can't end the review without talking about her crown. I mean, look at this thing. It's huge. It's definitely more like curved than I thought it would be. I always thought it was more like just straight into the air, but no. And that is accurate. It should be like this, technically. I didn't think so at first, but it is technically accurate, which is good.
It's got a very cool shape to it, though. Kind of looks like sunshine. And I guess technically this part is the crown. Top part here is like the headdress, but
No big deal. It's all the same, really. It's just one big cool hat. You can think of it as. Here's her base. Once again, copyrighted 2022. And her date stamp is S22A, so that's kind of interesting. Jeremy's was S13A. Wow. A whole 9 weeks ahead, Jeremy was made. That's a, a lot. This must have been one that was supposed to be as a single, and somehow it ended up in the 2-pack, maybe? I don't know, because Jeremy is available as a single. Chieftess is not, though, and I imagine she probably won't be either because of her oblong shape. And I know technically they could just do like the same thing they did with Doug Crankle, and just like raise the height of the blister. But for Chieftess, because she's wide because of the crown, I don't know if they would do that. I mean, they probably would. I didn't think they'd ever even increase the size of the blister for Doug or the other dinosaurs like the Quadratorchosaur or Westphalanopus. So I guess they easily could do it that for Chieftess too. But I don't know. Either way, she is back next year in a 2-pack with Jeremy again. So that's kind of nice to give more people a chance to get her, because like I said, I imagine this 2-pack will be pretty rare. Here is a better look at her next to Edwin Crankstow, who has already had a Thailand variant, which I don't have. But you know what's ironic is he's actually going to be in a 2-pack next year with, I think, Greta. So that's nice. We'll be getting some retro cars re-released next year. Just ironic, though, because they just released Chieftess, and now next year they're both going to be in 2-packs. So I don't know if it'll be released as a single. That'd be kind of nice, too. But I don't know. 2-packs always seem to come to my stores. I don't understand. That's why, like, even though I got this one online, I know. I just, like, I didn't have as hard of a time finding it as I would if she was released as a single. Like, if that was the case, I wouldn't have got this Chieftess or Jeremy probably until like I don't know, next Easter maybe if I'm lucky, or my birthday next in April, whenever that is, April 24th. I don't know. That's if I'm lucky too. I don't usually ever find new singles in stores, but I did recently find KC, which in all honesty isn't new by any means. It came out earlier this year. Probably like I think most people found it in January. I'm just starting to find it now, but apparently KC's out there, so I'm gonna have to get looking. Hopefully find some of those cars. But other than that, obviously Halloween is coming soon, so I'm going to be reviewing lots of other cool Halloween cars I just recently got in the mail altogether. And some of them I even found in stores, but most of them I got in the mail. So I'd love to get seconds, especially of this one, or even thirds, because it's an awesome 2-pack for sure. And before you go, guys, I almost forgot. I really wanted to show you guys my custom Chieftess that I made a long time ago, which I can now officially retire. I made her from an old Doc Hudson diecast I had laying around. You can just tell. I mean, she looks pretty cool. She was a nice substitute, but there is no comparison. Obviously, my customs aren't that great, but I thought she was pretty cool when I made her. I was pretty happy with myself. I just wanted to compare her because I did actually make a video on this car back in the day, probably like around a year ago now. I used cardboard for the crown there and headpiece, and then I just painted her all orange. and added a couple spikes, but I didn't know there was that many spikes on her. I mean, look at that. Compared to the two that I put on her, there's way more on the official Mattel diecast. Wow. I mean, obviously, I botched the color too. I don't know. I didn't expect her to be this golden. Like, she really is one of the coolest colored cars I've ever seen. Ever. Maybe. I don't know. It's easily the best Cars on the Road 2-pack. Possibly one of the best 2-packs ever, at least for now. Might be a bit of recency bias, but I don't know. Anyways, let me know who's your favorite in the comments below. Chieftess or Jeremy. I love you, Jeremy, but I gotta go with Chieftess because, I mean, she really is a queen, and it shows, so, I gotta go with Chieftess. But anyways, let me know who's your favorite down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a long one, but two awesome cars to review, so it had to be. And yeah, with that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the Cars Garage.